like I take videos on when I exercise, and I exercise very rarely. It has been a long time since I got on my exercise bike. But the funny thing that I noticed that what I did last time, I was pedaling I was standing up pedaling, and I did that more than usually, and now I tried it again, and I was better at it. Even though I had a long break, that capability had been restored, which I was satisfied about, but my condition is horrible. I remember when I got that thing, I easily could maintain 150 watts. Now I started up at 150 and then I dropped down to 90, or I kept about 100, and then when I started standing up and pedaling I got it up to 200, but still the average, it was worse than it used to be, which is not good. Today we're going to bottle some beer. I think we called it Double Cross. So now we've made Invalid, Bitter Root, Not White Face, Amul Sadams, which turned out to be a bitter beer. But the work situation is absolutely bleak at the moment. Fujitsu now said that they're not going to offer us any work. Marco, one of the partners in my company, he got 2 days a month. I've got feelers out whether I could get a job or assignment, and I was supposed to be contacted by Accenture last week. Nothing came of that. So today is a good day. I did a bit of praying, and I fully believe that God's in control of me and my family's destiny. But then sometimes it just comes on like a heavy blanket and you sink into despair. It's horrible waking up 3-4 in the morning and thinking, what's going to come out of this? So I've been studying. This is one of the books that I read. It's Design Patterns, because documentum, it kind of, well, it doesn't force you, but you're in a certain mode when you work with it. So I'm looking at Java Design Patterns. At least the first two that I read through, they feel familiar. But it's good to familiarize yourself with them a bit more, and then you can talk about them with more confidence. So it's bottling day today. So this is now going to be our 4th beer that we're going to bottle. We're going to print the labels out, and then before Pata comes, then I find an excellent trick to glue beer. You can just use ordinary print paper, print the labels out, cut them out, and then you just dip them in milk, or the glue side, you just dip them in milk and then you plaster it over the bottle, and it's an adhesive, it sticks to the bottle, and they're because the paper is so porous, and it's actually fairly hard to get off when you soak it. When you rip it off, it goes into bits, then you need to scrape it off with a brush or something like that. But anyway, that's the program for today. And yesterday the World Championships in ice hockey started. Finland beat South Korea 8-1. Wasn't a real hockey game. I was, slightly bored. Happy to see that they're finding each other, but it wasn't a good game. So today is going to be a slightly more competitive game against, is it Slovakia or Slovenia? I don't know. One of these Eastern Bloc countries. And it's supposed to be slightly better. Oh yeah, I went to the barber for the first time in my life to get my beard trimmed. Now it's already 8 days old, but what he did, he trimmed it sideburns low, and he kind of, well, now I haven't shaven, so I've got extra stuff growing here and here, but he trimmed it, and I got my first ever beard oil. And you go to the shower and then you scrape this beard oil in, and it's supposed to moisturize the skin beneath your beard. But given that this Accenture thing didn't go through, I might be shaving it off very soon. So, I wanted to have this small entry before I go. I have been summoned to the police station due to one of my drone videos where I what do you call it? It was last summer. Somebody asked me to film footage from Baku or this event here in my hometown, and I kind of flew, and I was intentionally flying under the 50-meter ceiling, but then into the video that I published, because I thought that, what do you call it, back in Rinne, we know there's 2 runways in Helsinki-Vantaa, and so that all the planes that land, when the wind is eastward, or it comes from east, then all the planes, they land from the west, and they just swoop over back in Rinne. And there's 2 runways, and our house is in the runways are here, but basically we're right in the middle. So either we get planes coming above us, whichever runway they're using, we're right in the middle. So into this video, I decided I'll take small clips of planes coming down, because it's a reminder of what Rinne is about. And I was too high, and now it might be that last day they might take this thing off of me. They called me, was it last Wednesday, and asked if could I come in, and that I need to bring this. They have internal flight data in this, so they might look at that, or then they just might say that hand it over and they'll confiscate it. Let's see what happens. What you pray, I pray. What you pray, I pray. Yesterday was the first time ever that I had I've tripped over when I've been walking a couple of times in the Swedish subway system, or in the entries, once at the airport, and then now is the first time I was standing still, the door frame, and I thought I could grab it. Well, I couldn't grab it, and I just missed, and I flapped on my back against our bathtub upstairs. Funny thing, it's a plastic bathtub, or it's some composite hardened plastic, but it's white inside and black outside. It's got silver paws on the thing, so it stands. So it isn't classic metal one, cast iron, so it's plastic. So what happened is one of the legs, when I fell on top of it, one of the legs popped out. But what's amazing about it was that I didn't feel a thing. Nothing is aching. There's no pain or anything like that. I just fell like a tree on top of it. I think my balance has deteriorated, but this is the first time that I actually have an episode not nice. What you pray, I pray. What you pray, I pray. My teacher from second grade, he would always quote one of the Greek, Aristoteles or Plato or somebody like that. He said that, I have no clue who made the quote, but the quote goes, if your mind is stressed, then stress the body. If your body is stressed, then stress the mind. So you do the opposite thing. And today, I went to the police station and took my drone. Surprise, surprise! I no longer have a drone. They took it away from me. And now, depending on the prosecutor, they're either going to take me to court and then I might lose the drone completely, or then they're gonna, if I get convicted, then I might lose the drone completely. But if they consider that I was doing stuff in goodwill that I didn't intend to, well, I don't know how they planned this thing out. But anyway, I was there. It lasted maybe 1.5 hours. I recorded the whole thing so that if anything funny comes out, then I'll have a recording of, and I listen to it. I can hear what I say and what they say, and basically I told them that as soon as I got comments from the public regarding this video, I then stopped flying at higher altitudes. Now, I don't know what's going to come out of it. Worst case scenario, I would say I lose the drone and I get a fine. And I don't know how hefty the fine might be. But in typical Finnish fashion, here you can kill somebody or rape an underage girl and you get off with a slap on the wrist. 2 vuotta ehdonlaista. 2 years of probation. But then if you do something like paint a graffiti or fell a tree in a wrong place that isn't yours, then you'll get fines. You drive a car too fast, your fines can be ridiculous, tens of thousands of euros. This now, with me having the illness, my daughter having certain issues, and then my company not going out of business yet, but we don't have customers at the moment. And Documentum as a product, it's fairly dead in Finland. They have existing customers, but no new customers. There are no greenfield projects. I guess in 5 years there hasn't been anything new. I really need to come up with something new to do. I'm praying that God will tell me what to do. But let's see how that goes. Regardless of that, Jesus Christ is King. Amen. He saw you do, he would only say what he heard you speak.